Welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, I am Uyi Agmofwebe, reminding our viewers that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nightcomsat. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has distributed food, non-food items and medical supplies to support the treatment of injured victims and provide relief to the affected families of the tragic petrol tanker fire disaster at Diko Junction in Niger State. The agency disclosed this in a statement indicating that its Director General, Zubeida Umar, visited the community and flagged off the distribution of relief materials. She said the intervention was in line with President Bola Tinubu's directive and the federal government's commitment to assisting the community in recovering from the disaster. Minister of Works David Umahi has directed all federal controllers of works to dismantle all speed calming devices and measures, otherwise known as speed breakers or bumps, on federal highways in their respective states. Umahi issued the directive during the opening of a two-day retreat organized for highway engineers and management staff of the Works Ministry, noting that while there is nothing wrong with installing such bumps, there should be approval and standard designs and specifications to guide such efforts. The retreat held in Abuja themed ensuring delivery for Tinubu's agenda on road infrastructural development. Let's turn to Nigeria's northwest now, where Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal has emphasized that upholding the rule of law requires technical expertise, moral courage, and unwavering integrity. The governor made while speaking as a guest of honor during the 2024 Annual Law Week organized by the Gusau branch of the Nigerian Bar Association. In a statement by the governor's spokesman, Suleiman Idris, Lawal, who received an award recognized as an icon of legacy and impact on the people of Zamfara State, noted that events like this at the NBA conference offers invaluable opportunities for legal professionals to exchange ideas on the promotion of justice, democracy, and the rule of law. The police commander of River State has confirmed the deaths of 2 adults and a toddler following a capsizing of a passenger boat on Sunday evening. The command spokesman, SP Grace Iringe Koko, speaking in Port Harcourt, the state capital, said 19 passengers were rescued from the tragic incident. She said the boat was en route from Port Harcourt to Bonny Island in Bonny local government area of the state when a sudden ocean storm caused high waves, resulting in a mishap. Describing the incident as tragic, Iringe Koko said 19 passengers were rescued alive. Quite a tragic incident. Of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio has emphasized the need for parliamentary collaboration and unity among African nations, addressing the National Assembly of Côte d'Ivoire at the opening session of the 2025 First Ordinary Session of the National Assembly in Abidjan. Akpabio also called for strengthening of bilateral ties between Nigeria and that country. At a national conference in Kano regarding the position of the northern women on the proposed tax reform bills by President Bola Tinubu, experts say there are many lapses to address despite some modifications to the bill. Global Television correspondent Idris Jibrin was there for us and now reports.
Organized by the Women's Wing of the Coalition of Northern Groups, this national conference is to deliberate on how women are affected by the controversial tax reform bill in Nigeria. Women from the 19 northern states and the Federal Capital Territory argued that the bills do not in any way represent their aspiration in the region.
Well, my expectations are high, and like I said, I asked them. Most of them do not really know much about the tax reform bill, but to the glory of God Almighty, they are now aware that issues concerning the tax reform bill is very important that their voices are heard. So I believe that after this program, I'm going to get feedbacks, positive feedbacks from them. Their contributions is going to help when I tender my reports.
Although several modifications have been made to erase doubts in the minds of some Nigerians regarding the provisions of the bills, These people argued that the need for lawmakers to ensure transparency is crucial. At the end of this conference, expert believes that women will be fully mobilized to further understand the role they are expected to play in ensuring that the bill does not affect the overall well-being of Nigerians.
Nigerians are not enjoying. People are suffering. Over 90% of Nigerians are suffering with the current policies, ill policies that are designed by this administration. Unpopular policies, inhuman policies, ungodly policies that are only meant to make Nigerians to suffer. This is the situation we are. Actually, we went to Flato last week. We interact with the market women and so many other women groups. But unfortunately, they were saying it deliberately clearly. They never knew what the tax reform bill is all about. Nobody even taught them what is the tax reform bill. They never knew anything about it. And they were convinced beyond any doubt that there is consolidation of levies. That's why I said there is difference between tax and levies. Nobody should deceive you by telling you there is consolidation of taxes. Levy is clearly different, and levy is what suffered market women in Nigeria.
Those in attendance include the chairman of the Council of Ulama, Sheikh Ibrahim Khalil, leader of the Coalition of Northern Groups, Nastura Asher, among other notable Nigerians. From Kano, Idris Jubrin reporting for Global Television News.
Thank you, Idris, for your reporting. The House of Representatives Committee on National Security and Intelligence has called on President Bola Tinubu to direct Minister of Finance to ensure full release of the 2024 capital allocation to the security and intelligence sector, emphasizing its crucial role in national security. Chairman of the committee, Ahmed Satomi, made the call during a budget defense session for agencies under the Office of the National Security Advisor. He expressed concern over the inadequate release of funds to some intelligence agencies, noting that while the security sector received a significant allocation, the intelligence subsector remains underfunded, assuring that the committee would explore ways to boost funding for intelligence operations to strengthen national security efforts. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has voiced strong opposition to the creation of state police, citing concerns about potential misuse of power by state governors. The minister said these during a media chat, arguing that Nigeria's institutions lack the independence necessary to support the state policing system without risking abuse. He therefore warned that implementing state police without proper safeguards could lead to oppressive governance. French Republic says plans to upgrade the laboratory of the Nigerian Geological Survey Agency and provide it with advanced technology equipment are underway. This followed advanced discussions on the Memorandum of Understanding it recently signed with the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The French government made the commitment to Nigeria on the sidelines of the ongoing Future Minerals Forum in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU Ibadan Zone, has urged President Bola Tinubu to protect Nigeria's educational landscape from the potential pitfalls of international monetary fund policies. The union, representing prestigious institutions such as the University of Ibadan, University of Ilorin, and several others, convened a press conference to voice their concerns regarding the proposed dissolution of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund in favor of the newly suggested National Education and Learning Fund. The proposal, according to the union, is part of the 24 public benefits claims pose significant risks to the future of public education in the country. Minister of Labour and Employment, Mohammed Megari Dingyadi, has told the National Assembly Joint Committee on Labour, Employment and Productivity that 46 billion naira allocated to the ministry in the 2025 budget is insufficient to attain set objectives, especially in employment generation. Consequently, the minister called for more budgetary allocation to enable the ministry scale up the performance of key areas of its mandate. Dingyadi spoke in Abuja at the 2025 budget defense meetings with the House Committee and the Senate Committee on Employment, Labour and Productivity. This is Global Television, and you're watching the live broadcast of Midday News with Uyi Agmofwebe. When the rest of the news returns, Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited says vandals responsible for Buguma wellhead fire. We have those details as well as foreign exports for you after this short break. Please don't go away. Well, thank you for staying with us, everyone. If you're just joining us, you're watching the live broadcast of Midday News here on Global Television. We begin the second part of the news with business, where the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, has alleged that the fire incident at its Buguma Wellhead 008 operated by its subsidiary NNPC 18 Operating Limited was caused by pipeline vandals. Chief Corporate Communications Officer of the company, Olufemi Shoreye, in a statement said the fire was caused by the activities of vandals who were attempting to compromise the Christmas tree and steal crude oil. Shoreye said the unfortunate act of sabotage, which also resulted in severe damage to the well's back pressure valve, reflected a disturbing pattern of repeated attacks on wellheads in the zone. The Nigerian Stock Exchange opened the week on a positive note with a market capitalization increase of 10 billion naira. The all-share index appreciated by 0.02%, closing at 102,370.62 points, slightly up from 102,353.68 points recorded on the previous trading day. Despite the positive movements, the market is still negative for both the year-to-date and month-to-date, with a decrease of minus 4.8% for each. The week-to-date figure, however, stands at a modest 0.02% increase. The total number of bank application numbers BVN issued in Nigeria has climbed 64.8 million in January 2020. Marking a 2.14% increase from the 63.5 million recorded at the end of 2024. This is according to a recent data released by the Nigeria Interbank Settlement System in 2021, which indicated the BVN enrollment stood at 51.9 million, showcasing the initiative's early strides in expanding Nigeria's formal financial ecosystem. By 2022, the figure rose to 56 million, indicating a 7.9% increase. The trend continued in 2023, with enrollment reaching 60.1 million, representing a 7.3% growth compared to the previous year. The Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, PEBEC, is set to establish commercial courts and sub-national councils as part of efforts to improve the country's business climate. The project manager at the council secretariat, Aimoya Okbebelo, disclosed these initiatives in a statement highlighting its 2025 Outlook document. The council noted that the establishment of a nationwide presence is central to its 2025 work plan to drive the ease of doing business, chiefly through subnational reforms and commercial courts for easier business arbitration. The digital token, also known as Trump, which launched on Friday, saw its price jump from less than $10 on Saturday to a peak of $70.59 before adjusting slightly on Monday. Reports say the surge on the phenomenon value came just ahead of Trump's return to the White House. The token's rise drew attention, with trading volume hitting billions of dollars as trading at 145 GMT. The coin was trading at $46.93, giving it a market cap of $9.4 billion. Let's jump to the foreign scene now, where the newly inaugurated President of the United States, Donald Trump, has granted pardons to more than 1,500 of his supporters who stormed the Capitol on January 6, 2021. This is in a bid to overturn the results of the 2020 election. President Trump also ordered that all pending criminal cases against Capitol riots defendants be dropped. Among those receiving a pardon was Enrique Tarrio, the former leader of the far-right Proud Boys, who was sentenced to 22 years in prison for directing a military-style assault on the Capitol. United States President Donald Trump has signed an executive order attempting to end birthright citizenship, a right guaranteed by the U.S. Constitution and affirmed by the Supreme Court more than 125 years ago. President Trump, in his inaugural address, issued a blitz of executive actions to start reshaping federal immigration and border policy, many of which are expected to face significant legal challenges. In the meantime, Donald Trump has vowed to seize the Panama Canal, imploring that Russia is to make a deal on Ukraine. It only his first hours back as president. Trump also moved to withdraw the United States from the Paris Climate Accord, and World Health Organization halted Cuba's delisting from the state sponsors of terrorism blacklist, and symbolically but provocatively announced he was rechristening the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America. Similarly, speaking at the White House while signing various orders shortly after his inauguration, Trump says tariffs of 25% on products from Canada and Mexico could be introduced as early as February. U.S. Geological Survey says a 6.0 magnitude earthquake has hit Taiwan, injuring 27 people and triggering landslides. Local authorities in the capital, Taipei, felt tremors for nearly a minute as the shallow quake struck shortly after midnight. Firefighters rescued 3 people, including a child, who were trapped in a collapsed house in nearby Zanzi district. Let's bring you some sports real quick. The board of Lagos State Football Association says it has dismissed the board of the Lagos State Football Coaches Association over an alleged gross misconduct and insubordination. The secretary of the association, Akim Rabiu Okiki-Okposu, in a statement said the board has served a notice of dismissal on the association led by Taiwo Hassan. The State Football Governing Body Secretary said this was as a result of the association's flagrantly committing an abuse of power and displayed insubordination. After a troubled start to life in Madrid, French superstar Kylian Mbappe has finally seems at home and ready to wreak havoc both in Spain and across Europe. Mbappe's rediscovered comes at the perfect time for Real Madrid, with 2 crucial Champions League matches ahead, starting with RB Salzburg's visits to the Santiago Bernabeu. Madrid then face Brest on the road next week, aiming to secure progress to the next phase of the competition. Madrid lost at Liverpool, with Mbappe missing a penalty, as well as against AC Milan at home and away at Lille. Sergio Coneição has been in charge of AC Milan for less than a month, but has already diagnosed the lack of hunger as the source of his new team's woes, as the 7-time Kings of Europe hosts Girona with the last 16 of the Champions League firmly in their sights. Milan could yet obtain direct qualification as a seat a point away from the top 8 positions and have 2 winnable final fixtures in the league face first their lonely Spanish opponents at the San Siro and then at Dinamo Zagreb next week. However, Saturday's 2-0 defeat at Juventus highlighted the same issues of quality and character that have become increasingly evident with each season that has passed since their dramatic league title win in 2022. Pep Guardiola has insisted that Manchester City will rise to the occasion in their crucial Champions League showdown against Paris Saint-Germain after rebuilding their shattered morale with the 6-0 demolition of Ipswich. Guardiola's side languishing in 22nd place in the 36-team Champions League table with 2 games left. PSG are in even worse shape, 1 point behind City in 25th place. And that's your Global TV Midday News. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365, Star Times 276, and free to air all night comes hot. Kindly follow us across all of our social media platforms using @Global TV NG, as well as other handles as you now see on your screen. I'm Agmofobe saying a big thank you to you for watching. We'll see you soon.